there is not a military in the world that can stand up to the United States toe-to-toe. Some are stronger than others, some pose different challenges, but at the end of the day, there's not a Navy we can't disable, there's not an Air Force we can't suppress, there's not a command and control structure that we can't disrupt at some level. And other countries know this. And therefore, if you want to rival the United States, if you want to be an adversary of the United States, the trend is to think in terms of what we call unrestricted warfare or asymmetric warfare. Now, some of this is well known: chemical, biological, radiological weapons, weapons of mass destruction. But the other equally powerful, maybe even more powerful weapons are cyber warfare, and now the new kid on the block is financial warfare. And so these are all being incorporated into strategic doctrine, and not just the United States. In the book, we cite various Chinese documents and studies that explicitly make financial warfare part of Chinese strategic doctrine. But it's actually happening as we speak in Iran. The United States has been ratcheting up sanctions against Iran for years. Actually, these sanctions go back to the 1980s. But most recently, the president went for the jugular. He cut the Iranian central bank, Bank Markazi, out of the global financial system. And the way we do this is we say to all the other banks, if you do business with Bank Markazi, you may not do business in the United States. Well, considering whether it's Deutsche Bank, UBS, Commerce Bank, Credit Suisse, they don't need to be told twice. The U.S. is dead serious about this. They've got enormous operations in the United States, actually larger than in their home countries in some instances. So they immediately cut Bank Markazi out of their list of counterparties. This caused an instantaneous one-day drop in the value of the rial, the Iranian currency, of 40%. Their currency dropped 40% in a single day against our currency. What happened next could also have been anticipated, which is a lot of what's sold in Iran is imported, maybe smuggled through Dubai, but it's imported, which means if you're an Iranian merchant, you need dollars to pay the guys on the creek in Dubai to smuggle your stuff over. Some of it's maybe legitimate from Germany, etc. Well, if your currency is down 40%, you need twice as many dollars. So what they did is they doubled their prices in rials. So certain goods overnight went from 200,000 rials to 400,000 rials. Now we're injecting hyperinflation into the Iranian economy. The fact that there are elections in March is interesting. We're doing this ahead of their elections. Whether this is to stir the pot, get the Green Revolution going again, or create some more dissent. Inflation, by the way, is a very powerful motivator of popular discontent. A lot of the Arab Spring, sure, was there a desire for democracy and to get rid of these dictators? Absolutely, but there was an equally strong concern about inflation spreading around the world, thanks to our chairman of the Federal Reserve. And inflation was a big part of the Tiananmen Square demonstrations in 1989. We all remember the papier-mâché Statue of Liberty, but a lot of people in that square were urban workers and people coming in from the countryside who were concerned about inflation. So it's a good way to destabilize a regime. Regime change is really the name of the game in Iran. Nobody wants a war, but if we can get a new group in there running the country, then there might be a way through this nuclear program. So this is financial warfare, clear as a bell. We gamed it in 2009. I certainly expected to see it sooner than later, but maybe not quite this soon.